Good evening and welcome to Vsb News Online for Monday, March the 23rd. I'm Charles Webb. The news that the developers of the Pink Beach Hotel anticipate hiring 80 staff members, over 50% of whom will be Bermudian, can be looked at two ways. PLP leader in the Senate, Diallo Raban, told his Senate colleagues this morning that he found such a statement to be an admission of failure, while Minister of Home Affairs, Senator Michael Fay, found it to be encouraging.
I focus mostly on the national training plan. And I wanted to know, it's almost a year in, I wanted to know what tangible and measurable results have we gotten from the national training program? Because when you look at the workforce study for 2013, and I mean 2014, you see that people under the age of 25 are still unemployed. The unemployment rate has gone up to 29% from 22% in the last year. And we're still looking at high percentages of work permit holders in fields that I consider fields that Bermudians can easily fill. You're talking like 39% of masons on island are work permit holders. I believe it was closer to 40% of waiters on island are work permit holders. Housekeepers are in the high 40%. And these are jobs that can easily be filled with Bermudians. So when we look at the national training plan, and it talks about preparing for 1 to 2 years to get people ready for employment, these are jobs that I feel that we can do something for right now and help provide jobs for our people. If the One Bermuda Alliance is serious about this this steady amount of work that's coming down, now is the time to get our people prepared. And nothing can highlight this more than the Pink Beach Concession Act last Friday, that the junior minister brought. And when the junior minister stated that there will be between 50 and 80 jobs that will be available once the hotel is finished, but only up to 50% of them will be available to Bermudians. I find this incredible that this government can actually make that statement. We have a project that's going to be ready in perhaps another 2 years, and that's 2 years to get Bermudians ready. And I think it's just unfair for Bermudians to be out there hoping to get some of these employment, and the government is basically saying we're promising this company that 50% of their employees can get work permits. That's essentially what's being said.
I think in the typical fashion, sadly, of the opposition, it's scaremongering and is deliberately inflammatory. What, in fact, we are saying is that at least 50% of staff will be Bermudian. And that is something that the developer has said that they're looking to do. There are obviously specialized roles at some of these hotels, and when they're trying to get on their feet, they hire those individuals they think that will best fit their program. We have put on job fairs, we have worked with developers to make sure that Bermudians get opportunity, and we will continue to do so. But picking one very small line out of an extensive brief and what I would say again, scaremongering, doesn't help anything at all.
Are you happy with the way things have gone with that division?
I am. I'm very pleased indeed. I'm pleased with the Department of Workforce Development. We continue to work to make sure that people are getting trained and getting opportunity. We put on job fairs. We continue our work in giving Bermudians soft skills and doing everything we can to stimulate the workforce in Bermuda. One of the things that I will repeatedly say, however, is it's one thing. We can provide program after program after program, but it is incumbent upon those individuals who want to upskill themselves or retool to actually take advantage of those programs and make the applications and come in and see us. We can sit down with you and take you through the various application processes. We can take you through online programs to help you succeed.
No news yet of how we've done with some of these career fairs. Have you actually got some evidence that people have got jobs?
Yeah. When we put the hotel career fair on in concert with the Bermuda Hotel Association a few weeks ago, we always get the data as to the number of Bermudians that have been either employed or interviewed, and we're waiting on that data. And the BHA is very good in providing that. They had reworked the format this last year that has worked again very well this year. We saw over 150 people attend that jobs fair, so there should be some good news coming out of that.
86 years ago, a tsunami struck Bermuda several hours after an underwater landslide hit the Grand Banks of Newfoundland, damaging some shipping but causing no injuries. As Vsb News' Brian Darby relates, The circumstances of the 1929 occurrence are about to be repeated, but in an exercise.
Bermuda will participate in an Atlantic tsunami warning exercise on Wednesday the 25th of March, in conjunction with other countries within the Atlantic and the Caribbean region. The 2015 exercise will emulate an undersea earthquake which triggers an undersea landslide a couple of hundred miles off the coast of Cape Canaveral. The resulting exercise tsunami wave will affect Bermuda, the eastern coast of the US and Canada, as well as other jurisdictions in the Atlantic and the Caribbean. Exercises are also planned for the Gulf of Mexico to be carried out on the same day from another seismic event. This proposed exercise is a very realistic one. 86 years ago, the same setup resulted in a real tsunami hitting Bermuda from a point of origin off the Grand Banks. Bermuda has changed considerably since then, and waterfront properties, shipping industry, ocean activities, and moored vessels have all come into existence or increased considerably since then. Many people are surprised to hear that Bermuda has in fact experienced a tsunami. Any coastline is at risk of tsunami impact, and there is much confusion on this topic locally. Residents should not be alarmed to note the exercise watches and warnings posted via the Bermuda Weather Channel on Cablevision and WOW, and on weather telephone recordings. Brian Darby reporting for Vsb News.
HSB today launched its Global Water Program, which funds over 59 water projects in 35 countries through a 5-year, $100 million partnership with Earthwatch, WaterAid, and the World Wildlife Fund. Funding has been secured to support a partnership with the Bermuda Zoological Society and Green Rock, which will focus on the remediation of Cloverdale and Evans Bay brackish ponds. HSB CEO Richard Mosley, Bermuda Zoological Society's Dr. Jamie Bacon, and Green Rock's Chris Beckerberg comments on the benefits to be derived from the program.
This is a partnership which we have with Earthwatch, WaterAid and the Water Wildlife Fund, and here locally we have partnered with the Bermuda Zoological Society, and we'll talk a bit more about what we're going to do shortly. In terms of our focus in Bermuda, we're looking at the remediation of the Cloverdale and Evans Bay brackish ponds, which is a critical habitat for a diversity of wildlife. And there are many sediments in these ponds which contain toxic levels of various contaminants. And what we'll be doing is working with the Bermuda Zoological Society to see how we can clean these up. And even just talking earlier with Dr. Bacon, some of the things which are being worked on now, we can see some very early positive results. So I'm personally very excited about what we can do in this area.
For me, this grant is especially heartening. After spending 12 years studying how pollution is affecting Bermuda's wildlife and potentially affecting humans, this grant is now allowing us to do something about it. As Mr. Mosley said, we will be doing remediation at 2 ponds using a 2-pronged approach. The first method we'll be using is aeration of the pond's sediments. Our studies have shown that there are hydrocarbon-eating bacteria in the sediments, but that they're essentially starving for oxygen. By giving them oxygen, that will enable the bacteria to reproduce and consume the hydrocarbons much more quickly.
We're going to be asking students to look at questions that have to do with sustainability, access to clean and fresh water, but more than that, it also asks the students to look at water-related issues such as clean and healthy food. It asks students to look at a water footprint. In other words, ask them to look at how is their activity or how does our consumption of water affect not only Bermuda but other places in the world. Social and environmental change takes time, and we've learned that experiential education is a very important part of making these changes come about. And having the opportunity to work with these young preceding generations, we're inviting them into conversations that quite frankly they belong in. Decisions and choices are being made about Bermuda's future, and 8 to 14-year-olds we have found are entirely capable of having some of these conversations.
The Bermuda Fire and Rescue Service was put through its paces over the weekend when 3 fire calls in different parts of the island at roughly the same time led to the reserves having to be called out to provide backup while the regular crews tackled various incidents. The 2 main call-outs came around 9 o'clock on Sunday evening and involved a house fire at Oriole Lane Sands involving a smoldering trash can that emitted excessive smoke before being extinguished, and a fire in the paneling around a basement sauna in a house on Windward Drive in Pembroke, attended by a number of fire vehicles. The fire had been extinguished by the occupants, but excess smoke needed to be extracted. If you're looking for some colorful theater involving a huge multiracial cast, assorted animals and food, and a powerful message, you couldn't do better than to attend Dale Butler's latest play, The Second Last Supper, at the St. Paul AME Church Hall this Thursday, Friday, and Saturday. The stage manager is none other than iconic entertainer June Casey, and she is having a wonderful time, if not exhausting.
Many people have done the Last Supper, and it was like, so what actually happened before the Last Supper? What were the disciples doing? What questions were they asking? So we came up with the Second Last Supper, and let me tell you that much research has been done because we're expecting quite a few critics, and they will be critiquing this show.
Of course.
But the members is maybe 40 to 50 in the cast. And research has been done, like I've just said. Mm-hmm. And the cast, most of the cast even bring their Bibles to rehearsals. And they ask, why is this said? They wouldn't have done that. Do you think they would have, how could they have traveled so far? So like questions have been, it's been great because our writer has actually changed different things to do what the right thing is. And,
well, the atmosphere at City Hall the other day when you gave away gifts and money and food,
yes.
As a symbolic gesture, I think.
Jesus would have done that.
Jesus would have done that, but
Definitely.
it had such impact.
Yes, I think it did. We are, in Bermuda used to be such a giving and loving place at one time. It seems to be changing, and it's sad. But hopefully, after this play, people will get together, and there are, by the way, there's many nationalities involved in this. When I say there are about maybe 50 people in the cast, the nationalities, the ethnic groups, believe it or not, when they're together, it's like one. No bickering, just laughter and joy and entertainment and all the races coming together. It's beautiful.
He loves his laughter, and he loves his food, and he loves his animals, doesn't he?
Yes, he does. He loves laughter and he loves food. I don't know Dale too much about animals, but...
On the stage, hasn't he got some animals?
Oh, God, does he have animals? Live animals, people. There was talk at one time they have a snake. No, Dale, don't bring a snake, please.
He's a genius, isn't he?
He is fantastic. What I love is that he's bringing entertainment back into Bermuda, getting Bermudians involved with each other once more, and it's fantastic. And the youth, he's bringing out the youth. You know, let's have the youth back on stage. Let's have the youth together.
But there's always a message.
Always.
Oh, don't leave it without the message.
No, it's always a message.
A major part of the Earth Hour celebrations on Saturday evening will be a Glow 5K fun walk and run in which it is hoped hundreds of participants will carry lights through the darkened streets of the city and raise money for green work as well as awareness. Organizer Ashley Gillis explains.
It's a 5K Glow fun walk or run through the streets of Hamilton. The lights will be turned off between 8:30 and 9:30. We will have entertainment spots along the route just to keep the vibe going throughout. It's for all athletic abilities. You can walk it, you can run it. It's not a timed event, so not to be competitive, but we have had sponsors along the way to light up the streets in either black lights, glow, features, obstacles, and entertainment.
Must be quite a sight, isn't it?
It will be.
Last year was fun.
Last year we didn't do the effect that we're doing this year. Last year was more of a flame walk where they carried candles. This year we've changed it to more of a glow event with the black lights, music throughout, actual entertainment.
When does it start exactly?
The actual race starts at 8:30 from the waterfront properties.
It's on Pitts Bay Road.
On Pitts Bay Road. that's the start and finish of the race, and it goes throughout most of the city streets, through a couple of the parks, and then back at the waterfront properties.
It's impressive that you want to keep adding things rather than, do what you do. And this is going to make, I think, a lot more people interested in helping. It's like you're making a gesture, and that's easy. But Bermudians are very good at following important issues like the environment and everything else. So your turnout will be probably, in the thousands?
Hopefully. I think the hundreds to start with, but hopefully it'll keep growing each year. We're basing the event on a couple of different events from overseas. They do glow walk and runs most of the time. And if we can keep building on this, then it could be a success where it is thousands of people.
Any fundraising involved?
There are fundraising opportunities, so sign up is on racedayworld.com. From there, you can become a fundraiser. It's like an online pledge sheet. All money goes towards the Green Rock charity for their community programs. The sign-up fee is also everything towards Green Rock. So you can donate on the actual site, and it's all electronic this year.
And now it's time for the VSB Sports Report with Earl Baston.
The Female Athlete of the Year, Junior Athlete of the Year, Kyra Scrapes. Madam Minister, ladies and gentlemen, male Junior Athlete of the Year, Tyler Smith. Our Female Athlete of the Year, Flora Duffy. Our Male Athlete of the Year, Tyler Butterfield.
Also receiving awards on the night included Roy Allen Birch, Ray Al Bowen, St. Wally Woolridge, Karen Smith, Tyler Butterfield, Flora Duffy, and Christian Burgess all received achievement awards. Junior Achievement Awards went to Kyra Scratus, C.C. Woolman, Tyler Smith, Jesse Washington, and Kyle Webb. The Minister's Awards for Cricket went to Christian Burgess and Leilani Nesbitt, while the Minister's Awards for Football went to Damon Ming and Ebony Burgess. Appreciation Awards went to Excel Foundation, Balco, and Aspen. Special Achievement Awards went to Calvin Blankendow and Colin Clark. The Pembroke Hamilton Club, the 2012 Carifta Games Committee, Stanford Bean, Anthony Bailey, and Alan Richardson all received Sports Citation Awards. Bermuda went down 20-15 in their second match in Group D of the 2015 North American Caribbean Rugby Association's Championships against the Bahamas at the Winton Rugby Center in Bahamas. Bermuda got a try from Paul Davis and Rudolph Van Vesteren, while Patrick Callow added a conversion and a penalty. The Boulevard Blazers are the 2014-15 First Division champions following their 9-1 victory over the Somerset Eagles at White Hill Field yesterday. The Boulevard Blazers got a hat trick from Tyvance Douglas and Ian Coke, while Donye Taylor scored twice and Aldonte Smith added the other. The lone goal for Somerset Eagles came from Jerron Butterfield in injury time from the penalty spot. Meanwhile, the Devonshire Colts gained promotion to the Premier Division following their 4-2 victory over St. David's at Police Field. The Devonshire Colts got goals from Carlos Trott, Jade Eve, Lizandro Simons, and Eli Smith. Alan Douglas scored both goals for St. David's. In other First Division matches, yesterday was BAA 5, Young Men's Social Club 1, Crossroads 10, Wolves 0, Island Rangers 0, and Paget Lions 5. North Village Rams completed the sweep of the Corona League trophies when they defeated Robin Hood 2-1 in the Corona Cup at the BAA Field. Meanwhile, Naki Wells missed 2 penalties amid chaos scenes as 10-man Fulham won 2-0 over Huddersfield. Meanwhile, Reggie Lamb and his Mansfield teammates went down 1-0 to Hartlepool. The 2015 Digicel Squash National Championships came to an end on Friday evening at the Bermuda Squash Rackets Association Club. In the ladies' final, defending champion Runa Retta defeated Laura Robinson 11-3, 11-5, 11-4, and Patrick Foster defeated Kristen Johnson 11-8, 16-14, 11-9. The Schroeder's 2015 Spring Championships concluded after 4 days of competing at the Bassa Pool. In the girls' 10 and under 50-meter butterfly, it saw Elin Daly swim a personal best time of 32.66 on her way to finishing first. Emma Kettleston finished second with a personal best time of 43.49, and Jaden Judd finished third, clocking 46.49. In the 11-12 girls 50-meter butterfly, it was won by Maya Crockwell, who clocked a personal best time of 36.94. Jessica Bruton finished second in 37.13, and Casey Morris finished third in a time of 41.96. Elijah Daly won the boys 10 and under 50-meter butterfly, clocking a time of 40.06, while Charlie Davis finished second with a time of 52.60. During the 11-12 boys 50-meter butterfly, Jack Harvey touched the wall first in a personal best time of 35.55, while Max Blakeney finished second, clocking 50.86. The 2015 Kappa Classic tournament came to an end at the National Sports Center yesterday, with the Dandytown Hornets, BAA, Hamilton Parish, and the PHC Zebras all emerging as division champions. Meanwhile, Krista Stwanik and Dion Berry are the 2015 male and female Renaissance Re 10-mile challenge champions, while Jose Miranda and Gail Lindsay are the 5-mile challenge champions. On Saturday, the Bermuda Bicycle Association's 2015 road race season got underway with a team time trial, cyclists fighting headwinds and driving rain at times. The winning team of Darren Glassford, Matthew Oliveira, Mark Hatherley, and Anthony Bartley, representing Winner's Edge, covered the 16-mile course in a time of 41.52, making an average speed of 23.7 miles an hour. In women's field hockey over the weekend, it was the Ravens 3, the Bluebirds 1. The Ravens 1, Budgies 1, Wildcats 0, Longtails 0, Budgies 3, and the Swallows 0. In ball hockey action, it was the Quebec Nordiques 3, California Golden Seals 4, Minnesota North Stars 4, and the Colorado Rockies 2. I'm Earl Baisden reporting for VSB Sports.
Now for the weather, Tuesday, March the 24th, there will be sunny breaks with occasional showers, easing during the afternoon. Winds will be northerly, increasing moderate to strong by afternoon, decreasing moderate overnight. The high will be near 67 and the low near 62. This weather forecast is presented courtesy of the Bermuda Weather Service. Thanks for watching VSB News Online for Monday, March the 23rd. I'm Charles Webb.